please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Now in 2016, Volkswagen had planned to bring in 5 new products in the Indian market, and a couple of months ago with the launch of the new Passat, they completed that particular commitment. So we decided to catch up with the director at Volkswagen India, Mr. Steffen Knapp, to find out what's next in the pipeline.
Hello Mr. Knapp, let me extend a warm welcome from everyone here at Overdrive. It's not so long ago you sort of showed your commitment towards the Indian market by announcing that you'll have 5 new products in the Indian market, and the Passat and the Tiguan essentially complete that promise that you made. So what's next? Can you tell us a little more about India 2.0 and how it further strengthens your commitment towards the Indian market, and what can we expect as a part of the strategy?
So India 2.0 is all about growth. Yeah? So we give ourselves a vision to achieve 3% market share in the next 5 years. Okay. And together with Skoda to get a substantial bigger cake out of the Indian industry. Yeah? So as you know, Skoda has the lead to develop new products for the Indian market, which are competitive, spot in the marketplace in terms of its features, in terms of its body styles, and which will help us to come to the next level in India. Yeah, so that's all about India 2.0. The 2.0 is already signifying that it's going to be a major step. 2.0, you know, most looks into the manufacturing area, but new technology, and it's a step forward for us to the next level here in India. It is an incredible competitive marketplace, yeah? And customers here are very, very well educated, very focused on novelty, very focused on all the latest technology at a good value for money proposition. And to follow that, you need to do it the local way. And I think that is one of the core centerpieces of India 2.0. Rather than implementing something which we do somewhere else, is more looking at local special situations, local styles, local solutions, in order to make it a complete viable package to go to the next step.
So building further on what you just said about the India-specific models and different segments that you're looking at catering to, SUVs obviously is a very important segment, and it's a wide segment in itself with various body styles. And not just in India, but all around the world, we've been seeing this trend where people have started preferring a higher edge point. They want a commanding view of the road over the classic love for sedans and hatchbacks. In the past as well, Volkswagen has said that even globally, they want to be present in every possible SUV subcategory. And that's something that we have seen by way of concepts that you've already shown, the T-Cross, the T-Roc. So I can see that direction happening. Now, how does that sort of fall in line with the Indian standpoint?
First of all, it's right. I think we are also just recently announced the SUV strategy in China as well as in the US, where we showcased in New York 2 models, prototypes. We showcased in Shanghai the new Touareg, and we are extensively investing our money into SUV. We did this also in India, so with the launch of the Tiguan, it's our best-selling SUV at the moment with more than 3.5 million sold. We decided to go also here into this countryside, even though, like I said before, the production capacity and the availability is somehow limited, but we could get our fair share here for the Indian market. But you're fully right, SUV also in India is a growing trend. I think in January it was the first time that the body style SUV crossed sedan. We had 48% growth in this particular body style here in India. And it's also a logical model for India from my point of view. Ground clearance, higher seating position, combined with a nice package for the family, so you have space in the car, and at the same time Indian people are also interested in fashion, having the latest, like I said before, and that is kind of the latest trend, so SUV is a logical step. So we are looking into that, and if we invest in India 2.0, most likely we will go also the direction on the SUV, because you cannot ignore that trend, and we have in our portfolio a lot available, and we have a global SUV strategy, so it's a logical step also to go in India, the next model direction.
So now putting all these things together, you mentioned that India is a market that's very differently competitive as compared to the rest of the markets that you've experienced so far. Could you elaborate on that a little more?
First of all, I just want to stress it's my personal comparison. Yeah? Right. For me, it's the Indian wants to have the best. Yeah? And he wants to have the best for his money. Yeah? So value for money is a key driver in this country. Therefore, it is a very, very tough market, a very competitive market, because you have to, like I said, fight more that the customers stay with you and that you continuously give the customer a reason to repurchase. Yeah? So the loyalty rates are completely different from other markets. And there are some brands which have a certain form of loyalty. Right. Because they're much more in the countryside available, yeah, whereas we are not. So therefore, it's a challenging marketplace, but it gives us also extreme opportunities, because the country is hungry for quality, safety, and driving experience.
Now I'm going to come to the ID, a very big topic all across the globe for Volkswagen, considering we are now at a transition phase where vehicles as we know them are now going to shift to all electric. It's going to open up a new realm of possibilities. So what is your thought process on this? And does India play any role in the ID strategy for Volkswagen or the electrification strategy for Volkswagen?
First, the member of our ID will come in 2020. And we have a sentence how we describe this. We are going to sell millions for non-millionaires. Yeah, so because the car will be at a price point of a Golf diesel, which is in the heartland of the automotive business in Europe, also in the US. Yeah? Right. So that is really a statement. We are expecting high sales of this ID family, so it's a complete new platform, our MEB platform, as you know, and it will be technology really at its best. You are right, India is also at its direction. Yeah? So the government gave out this vision, 2030. To be electrified. Obviously, there are a lot of things to be done in order to make this happen. Yeah, so I think last year, if I'm not wrong, we sold 1,322 electrified cars here in India, and in total we sold 3.1 million. Yeah, so the ratio is still on the lower side. Yeah, but as I told you before, it's one of the fastest countries I experienced in my life. I'm happy, and I'm also convinced that this will happen here faster than we think. We believe that India will see waves of electrification. So the first thing is definitely the two-wheelers. They will come, and they're already here. We are very advanced. It's 90 million two-wheelers are sold here in India. You have them everywhere. And this is a pretty fast solution which will come pretty soon, or is already here. The second one is, for me, the three-wheelers. These are the tuk-tuks and autos, which are one potential, but only with a very cheap solution. Also here TCOs have a driver. And there the question is what's going to happen with the batteries. Are they going to exchange the batteries, put a new battery in? What are we doing with the recycling? That's a big question which we still have to clarify.
It's still a grey area.
So there we have to see how it's evolving. The next bit will be the commercial business. So the government, the big fleets, the corporates, and so on, they will go into this because there the TCOs might be close to existing combustion engines. Right. But then you come to the big group of private customers. Yeah. And still, at the best calculation, a classical combustion petrol engine is a better proposition for the customer. Sure. So you have to work extremely hard on the business model to make that as an interesting proposition, in particular in a country which is driven by value for money like India.
Great. So I think it's just safe to say that it's exciting times ahead for the overall automotive industry. And I'm sure the ID cars headed to the Pikes Peak now, going racing. I think that's going to be something to look forward to. So great, let's all look forward to it, and thank you so much for chatting with us. It was a pleasure
for me also.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Take care.